Welcome to the Grand Fleet Podcast's countdown to Chapter 1000. Last time we went over the 10 straw hats and what Luffy actually meant when he wanted at least 10 crew members. We recommend checking out that video, especially if you're attracted to lizards. But today's episode has been brought to you by the number 9. We're going to be covering the 9 red Scabbards, a very appropriate topic considering their current predicament of fighting Kaido, the Emperor himself.
Yeah.
All right, would everybody like to introduce themselves? I'm Levi from The Voice of All Things.
I'm Smizzle from Smizzle.
Well, I'm Wun Wun from the D Clan.
Hi, I'm Bravo from Bravo D Boy. I wasn't at last week's.
Yes, we have a new guest with us today, someone who will offer some valuable insight. So what do you guys think? You want to go over this in the order they're on the wiki so we don't forget anybody?
Sure.
Yeah, I guess.
Of course, that starts us off with Kinemon, who is probably the one we have the most to say about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we might have some more to say about maybe Kanjuro, but yeah. Anyway,
True.
Kinemon, he was
that
the
also
very
makes sense.
first. He was like a constant when he first appeared in like Punk Hazard. He was like a constant like subversion of expectations.
He started like after the introduction of Kinemon, the fandom was already hoping for the Wano arc. The hype started building once again after Ryuma. Kinemon was the one that started the hype train once again for Wano arc.
How do you say? Breathe new life into the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had been in the back of our mind since we learned about Ryuma, but then ever since we saw him again, it was like, oh yeah, we're getting there.
It's near. It's near. The Wano arc is getting near. That's the feeling we got after introduction for Kinemon. Well, at least his legs.
Yeah. Like, and when he first appeared, like, he was, a pair of legs, and that was, like, super weird, and when I was reading Punk Hazard, I didn't really know what to expect, right? And then, like, he talked about, how he wanted to go find his son, and I was like, oh, it's a cute little, like, Finding Nemo type story. That's what I thought when I was reading, Punk Hazard. And then, like, it turned out that he was not actually his son, and they're actually from 20 years in the past, and they jumped into the future. And it's like, it starts going like really crazy from there, and they gotta go to Wano.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the time of revelation on Zo arc,
yeah, that was all really cool.
The story went from 0 to 100 real quick,
Yeah, it was crazy. Continuing the subversion thing with the introduction of Raizo, that was one of the most epic moments of the series, no doubt.
Definitely.
Just Raizo is safe.
Right.
It's like, wait.
Yeah.
What?
That's literally the 0 to 100 real quick. So, well, let's start with the introduction from as his legs, I should say. When he started talking using his farts, that was funny. When Oda actually revealed how he talked.
I'm actually curious as to how that sounded in the anime. I haven't seen that.
No, it was normal. It was normal human language.
Oh wow!
It's not like he was actually farting. It did not seem like that.
Right.
It was actually
That's
human
a little
language.
disappointing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Disappointing. I would have made it sound like a little bit more like. How would that sound?
Yeah.
Like.
It'd be a challenge for the voice actor.
Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think what would a escaping air sound.
Let's try.
All right.
So I was saying, I cannot do that.
Yeah, or like that one episode of SpongeBob where he's like asking where the Bikini Bottom is, and like they don't like speak his language or whatever. And he's like, "Do you know where the Bikini Bottom?" That like something like that would be cool,
I remember that. No, I think it was good that it was just his voice though, because it kind of threw us off a little bit, like, because like then the reveal that like I was talking with my farts, I was just like, what? Like, it was just a shock to me,
They could have thrown in a couple farts, just like.
No, actually he did.
Yeah, there were moments that showed like little clouds.
He actually did that.
I wonder why it never gave us an explanation of why he has that power. I think we deserve one.
I think, yeah.
Well, like, the Scabbards has hidden potential.
He's Uranus. That's
oh my god.
Whoa.
The ability to communicate through your farts.
Yeah.
That explains his destructive power.
Yeah. But
I mean,
slicing
Kaido
open
is big
Kaido
and he has big nose.
twice.
So, well, if he farts on his nose,
it's over for him.
It's supposed to be deadly, I guess.
Yeah. Also, like, he's got an interesting, devil fruit too. I think his devil fruit and his his ability. I don't know what you call it, the slicing flame, ability. We don't really get to see where he learned that, do we? Like even with
I mean, it's still ambiguous on what actually the power is. Is it because of the devil fruit he can cut fire, or it's something different?
Probably.
No, I think
probably not the devil.
If he was like a different kind of mythological beast-based devil fruit, then yeah. But I don't think Tanuki have anything to do with fire or flames.
Yeah.
So I think the cutting fire is just a personal ability he developed.
Yeah. And I'm fairly certain he's the only one that
that's
can.
That's going to be very useful against Kaido, as we saw in the last chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's such a cool panel.
This is really, really cool. I like how all of his abilities are coming back now.
Yeah.
All of the things we've seen, they seem like his abilities are very situational and specific, but because we've seen them foreshadowed so long ago, that them coming back at these epic moments is just perfect.
Yeah,
I mean, well, Zoro has been already amazed with his power of cutting fire. So Oda has already built up. It's not like a last moment thing that, okay, we have someone who can actually go up against Kaido using his ability.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's like they're almost wrapping up his storyline.
Oh.
Yeah.
That could... he has been, kind of the one...
he can actually die at the end, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he has lots of death flags.
Yeah, I've never heard the words death flags used so often.
Yeah.
Where the 9 red Scabbards, everyone's like, well, they're gonna die.
He's been hammering it too much. Oda has been hammering it a little too much this time.
Death is such a touchy subject in One Piece because it's used so sparingly and randomly.
And it's never really guaranteed. Like, even when you see somebody die.
Never.
Yeah. Even when you see somebody die, like
even when we see a sure death,
or what you think is a sure death,
for Pedro to pop up.
God, I luckily really hope not. Like
none of the Scabbards begin with
I think we're guaranteed Pedro's gone.
I could see it, I could see us getting like a sort of like Ace and Sabo situation, maybe with Pedro, but even then, that's still bad,
So, do you guys honestly? Because I know there's a lot of different camps in this. Do you guys honestly think we'll see any, or all of the Scabbards die?
I think a handful.
I think at
definitely
least one.
Kinemon.
I mean, how Oda has been hammering it is either all of them are going to die and maybe a couple of them survive, or none of them are going to die and someone else is going to die. Because something is going to happen.
Like if Kanjuro isn't already dead, then he's definitely going to die, I think.
Yeah, Kanjuro is pretty much set to die.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like he's going to his redemption arc is not going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I am sorry of all that.
Like he's not
it's not going to be like that.
Like he can't.
Yeah, that would be very disappointing.
Also, like I think for all intents and purposes, we're just supposed to like assume he's dead or like feel like he's dead. So, like, if he appears again...
I mean, I guess it's been more than 5 chapters, 6 chapters since his death.
Been a while.
I'm not sure.
It's been a while.
Him and Orochi.
Yeah, him and Orochi.
Orochi, well, in the last chapter, Fukurokuju was sneaking away somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And
I ignored that panel.
I was watching technical video, he mentioned that he may be going to Orochi.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Because Orochi may have some kind of power and Fukurokuju may know about that power. So he may be going towards Orochi. So, Orochi is not out of the picture, I guess, as of yet.
Yeah,
he may very well be.
Maybe.
But there are possibilities for him to be there.
Orochi having died in such an unceremonious manner would actually be just beautiful.
Yeah, actually, because it will be like Oda always wanted to show that Orochi is nothing. He's not the main focus of the arc.
Yeah.
He's not the main villain. So let him die in a way like any foot soldier dies. Just kill him off in one chapter, in one panel.
I could see that. I don't think everybody's gonna like it. I still feel like I need something else, to really I think that a One Piece death should hit hard, specifically in One Piece, I wouldn't care if it was like a show where people die pretty often, but since it's One Piece,
like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like I guess in Game of Thrones, I haven't really seen it, but like I do know that people die all the time, supposedly. But like, since it's One Piece, I think, we need something a little bit more than like just, Orochi being like, head chopped off and that's it, I'm not really sure what I would want. Like, we definitely, for Kanjuro, we definitely need to see, that fight between him and
Kanji, we should have gotten a fight.
Yeah, like if
that was so weird.
I didn't know what to make of that really.
Like maybe Oda skipped it, but he plans to like kind of circle back to it.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
We are in the main battle right now, so it's too late for a flashback.
Right.
I think Oda is letting the animation studio handle these fights. He is more into the story right now.
But
that I think it was
like
the Grand Line Review.
Yeah,
the Grand Line Review did a video on this saying all of the off-screen fights in One Piece are fine off-screen.
Right.
They don't serve any narrative purpose. They have more wonder and mystery and excitement by being off-screen. Every fight except that one.
Because
that one had so much emotional weight to it.
Right.
We needed to see that. We needed that closure.
Like we should have at least gotten like a couple of panels, or like maybe like a big spread, like a big maybe single or double page spread where it's like they're all maybe they're all like ganging up on Kanjuro or something, and like then, or
at least the moment he gets cut down.
Yeah, or like the moment he gets
I don't know.
Like, we could have seen a panel with Kanjuro, blood sprouting all over, and Kiko is crying after cutting him and shielding her blade.
Like we did kind of see something like that. We saw like the blood dripping off the sword.
It was after he fell. It was after he just fell down to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not like...
It was not satisfying.
Yeah, that was like... honestly, that might be like one of the weakest moments in One Piece, in recent One Piece history,
We are getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if we start skipping forward to Kanjuro...
Wait, actually, I do want to talk about, Kinemon's Devil Fruit. I think it's kind of one of the... in casual life, I think it's probably one of the most useful fruits, he's the one that can create any clothes, right? Yeah, that's really useful. I would use that all the time, wearing all this like high end fashion, flexing on all the people around me,
going to Gucci. Work or different places, it's quite easy changing your clothes. Just pick up something and just poop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No need to keep a neat and tidy suit.
Right.
That's useful.
Yeah, it is really useful.
In fact, you would never have to buy clothes again.
I would never have to buy clothes.
Economically amazing.
Yeah, we could be like celebrities, wearing a cloth and never again.
Right.
I think I would prefer Stroisen's fruit, though. For like practicality, it's not even the best at One Piece, though. It's like, because like Stroisen, Big Mom.
Oh, yeah.
His is like way more practical. So yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty lame.
We actually were going to make a video about what would be the most practical devil fruits in real life. We started making one of those, but we never got to finish it. We're going to come up with that at some point. That's something I've been thinking about a long time, and that's definitely up there. Just because in real life, if you had like Whitebeard's power, that would be basically useless unless you were an actual terrorist.
Right. Yeah. Or something like that,
Whereas it's the ultimate power to have in One Piece, where power is everything. But in our world, like Kinemon's power would be pretty awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not the only devil fruit user out of the Scabbards, right?
I mean, it's really up to speculation.
Rhizos, is it? He might also have a devil fruit supporting his ninja powers. Well, we know he's a ninja, but he might have a devil fruit that supports those powers.
Maybe.
I don't really know. I think like Ninpo is its own kind of thing. Like, I guess maybe it could be like supporting.
Giving Oniba and Shu and all, ninja is a thing, but having a devil fruit supporting that power would be cool.
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
But I think it might just be Kinemon and Kanjuro otherwise.
Huh.
Yeah, and Conjuro's not even confirmed, but he probably would be like the second best candidate, if you ask me.
Oh no, he has a fruit.
Oh, is it confirmed?
We've actually seen his fruit. Yeah, the power to paint stuff.
Yeah, the drawing fruit, or whatever you call
that.
Okay. Like that's
I didn't know.
Yeah, well, actually, that's a devil fruit. It was mentioned in Dressrosa arc, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think we actually got
we did. Yeah, we got a quick flashback, right? Of at least
when we get to him, I have words about that flashback.
All right.
There was something so weird about that flashback.
All right.
I don't want to get ahead
All
of
right,
us.
Yeah, we already went on a Kanjuro tangent once.
Yes.
We can wait.
Well, he's the most fascinating one. That's why let's save him for later, so that the fans will have something to watch the whole video for when we go through the boring ones like Raizo.
Yeah,
Raizo,
it looks like the list is going in order of like them joining Odin. I think, right?
I think so.
So
Okay.
next would be
At least that's
Denjiro,
what
right?
it looks like. You're right. It is in that order.
Okay.
But hold on, before we move on, we got to talk about Kinemon. I know Kinemon somehow is the most and least interesting one, probably because we know so much about him. But we have to talk about Kinemon's power scaling. How strong is Kinemon?
That's
Yeah,
kind of hard to say.
I
would say-
I never gave him credit. Not gonna lie, I mentioned in my last video also. I never gave him credit for much, but he has been piercing Kaido left and right. I mean, first he stabbed Kaido when the surprise attacked him, and then in the last chapter also when he cut that fire, that's air slash actually damaged Kaido,
Right.
and that was quite surprising to me. That an air slash.
I think that like people, I don't remember. Like I saw something about this, but like people have been like, they thought, oh, the Scabbards are weak, but then like when they found out like in this arc, Kinemon has like made himself into a leader figure. Like a lot of people just instantly jumped.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
Kinemon
actually,
being the
I too
strongest
was
Scabbard.
sleeping on their powers until I saw him damaging Kaido.
I never, like, from the very beginning, we actually did get to see Kanjuro do some stuff, like, in Punk Hazard, right? Like, what did he do? He helped fight that dragon, right? In Punk Hazard.
He was attached to the
dragon.
Yeah, the
dragon.
little
He made
dragon.
Took that down.
He could actually
Oh.
made stuff.
That's Goto moment, right? That's dope foreshadowing, right? First of all.
Yeah.
And second, like, I never really, like I thought, he's pretty strong, like, when that was happening. But, like, it had been a while, like, since from then till about, till recently, like, we hadn't seen him fight since. So, like, originally I thought, like, he's pretty strong, but I guess, as time kind of went on, like, I kind of did forget just what he could do, what he was capable of. But now I'm kind of remembering that kind of stuff,
Yeah, we actually haven't seen him do a ton.
Right. Since, Punk Hazard.
He was beaten by Law, but chances are he didn't understand Law's powers.
Mhm.
So he probably didn't know why he was getting chopped into little pieces.
Yeah.
That is
I mean, like, because devil fruits are not familiar to the people of Wano. So, like, I think he didn't even understand that what he had was a devil fruit power, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, he
about
seems
that?
to talk about it like...
they call that sorcery.
yeah.
That they still
Yeah.
call that sorcery. They don't know devil fruits or anything.
So
like
I don't
that.
even think he made that connection. Yeah.
Yeah. It does seem that devil fruit users do know
Yeah, I
their
guess
devil
no
fruit.
one has told them about devil fruits yet.
Yeah.
What did he do in Dressrosa? What was he doing? Like he didn't
Fighting the
really
birdcage.
fight anybody.
That's all I can think of.
He pushed
Yeah.
back the
Yeah.
birdcage, but did he ever actually
No,
enter
we have
into
never seen
combat
any
with
actual
anyone?
combat.
Yeah.
No combat scenes from him.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think he did any real combat. In Zoe,
I mean,
I don't... Honestly,
Yeah, well, in Punk Hazard, he cut down that door. I guess
Yeah.
that counts.
I remember
And-
Dressrosa less than any other arc, so I don't know.
in Zoe, I don't remember him doing anything.
I don't see why he would in Zoe.
Except showing his back
Right.
and that brought down another hell.
And then he wasn't in Whole Cake Island. And so yeah, Wano. He hasn't really done too much, which I guess is probably why like a lot of fans have been kind of sleeping on him. And like they're
Yeah.
kind of waking up to realize, he is pretty powerful. He's pretty strong,
I think if I were to scale him, I would say he's the strongest definitely among the Scabbards that were pushed forward in time. So like he's stronger than like Raizo and Kanjuro.
Yeah.
But I would not put him over
Yeah,
like the
like
Minx or
Kikujuno.
like Denjiro or Ashura Doji. Like those four,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think that Denjiro is stronger. I like to think.
Yeah, Denjiro, I think,
definitely
is
think
probably
that.
stronger.
He's been training for 20 years.
Like, he was Orochi's henchman, or Orochi's, like, right-hand man or whatever, I think that means
He was a Yakuza
something,
boss.
right?
I'm thinking of Ashura
Yeah.
Doji being.
He also.
He's strong.
He
He's
could be
like
one of the
I
strongest.
put him over Kinemon too.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I say Kinemon is the 5th strongest behind Denjiro.
No, actually, for Kinemon, I guess Denjiro and then Kinemon for me because always the highest. The leader is always supposed to be much stronger
I mean,
than
yeah.
the second in command.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true for, like, a lot of shonen stuff, but, like, I don't think Kinemon necessarily, Ashura Doji, Denjiro, and the Minx, like, they both have all four of them just have more, they just have more feats of strength.
And they've been alive for 20 years.
Plus, those four have been training in the past 20
Exactly.
years to go back and take down Kaido, whereas Kinemon just hasn't existed for all that time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Kinemon was definitely the strongest before they got pushed forward in time. But I think they definitely got passed.
I think Ashura Doji was immensely
that's
strong.
true.
I don't think we give him enough credit because he was basically the leader of an entire section of Wano just by his pure strength.
And I think he gave Odin the most challenge in any of any of the
he
fighters.
fought Odin, didn't he?
He fought him until the morning.
In manga, it did not seem like he had much of a challenge. In the anime, although it looked like they had a fight and they were pretty even, but in manga, I think Odin just stomped on him.
I don't know.
That happened in the anime?
Odin was pretty beat up in the manga panel after he was sitting on top of
What I inferred from that he has the blood of his enemies on him, not his own one.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know.
I mean, we can get to scaling Doji when we get to him.
Yeah,
I guess.
All right. Was there anything else about Kinemon we can talk about?
I don't think so.
I like him.
I like him. I'm starting to realize.
For dragons?
I'm starting to kind of realize I like him, or recall that I like him. He was just kind of okay. I've always felt like he was kind of okay, but ever since the Odin flashback ended and he's been doing more stuff, I like him.
Here's a question: who's your favorite of the 9?
That's hard to say.
I like Ashura Doji.
For me, I think it might be Denjiro. Yeah, Denjiro. He's got my favorite design. I also
real quick, are we going to talk about Izo?
We can talk about her when we talk about. Talk about him when we talk about Kiku.
Okay.
Are we talking about Denjiro next?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he is cool. He might be my favorite.
Me too.
He might be my favorite too. It's a tough one for me between Denjiro, Kiko, and Kanjuro. Just because Kanjuro is so fascinating, even though he's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mention it when we talk about it.
Yeah, right.
But for Denjiro, let's not forget his neck game, which got the complete One Piece community to make videos on him for at least a week, I guess. Ohara even made a tier list for necks.
Yeah, I like the neck tier list.
Oh, yeah, the neck. I think Denjiro, he had my favorite design up till, all his, pre-20-year gap designs. I think that his were the coolest, I just like the ponytail and the sunglasses sort of look. I don't know how to, I just like that look. I don't know what else to say.
I like his post too. I think both looks are really good.
He's got such a cool color palette in the anime.
That pompadour really suits him.
Yeah, actually, I like him better without the pompadour. I wasn't a big fan of pompadour when he took it off and had the tiny ponytail.
Yeah.
Perfection.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. I remember when we first got to see the chapter where he sort of made that sort of metamorphosis from where he sort of when he first declared himself to be as he declared himself as what's his name? Kyoshiro. Everybody was I was in a thread and everybody was he literally seethed himself into another person because he does look pretty different. His facial structure is different. So was he just mad all those years?
He screamed a lot and actually that changed his face.
He made he did people say don't make that face or it'll stick like that. Well, he made that face and it stuck like that for all those years.
And stuck like that. He actually had a plastic surgery because of just by making a face.
Right.
Just contorted like that.
I've been watching the anime so I can get kind of a refresher on the things that are happening in the manga because Wano is a big arc, and I do have trouble remembering all the details. And
plus the names are very far.
Right.
In Whole Cake Island, it was oh yes, Cracker. I can remember that name. But now it's Kiko ni Padam.
Yeah, Fukurokuju. I mean, I can never remember his name.
Right.
And then Katakuri was cool because he kind of his name kind of stuck out because it wasn't necessarily you couldn't immediately place it. For me, I couldn't immediately place a food to the name. I could still remember Katakuri's name. Yeah, and all the names are really foreign, at least for us, English speakers. But yeah, also Denjiro, he straight up he clashed with Zoro in a recent episode. I was I don't know, that was pretty
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So he definitely that's what made me remember how strong he must be, right? He must be pretty strong, right?
I definitely, yeah. I mean, I don't think any of the Scabbards are better than Zoro.
Denjiro has always been the guy who we should not sleep upon after when revealing that he's the boss of the Yakuza.
Right.
Then
and the thing with him is that he's just been biding his time. He's had on a facade for 20 years. So you just know how he probably has the most boiled up, pent up anger in him out of all the Scabbards. I would say.
Well, his haki should be strongest, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, I'd say.
Yeah,
too.
He's one of the strongest, definitely.
Like, yeah, I have high expectations because of just like how much he's been firsthand biding his time, like right next to Orochi and like all his scumminess.
All right.
Obviously, Orochi would have been bad mouthing Oden all this time.
Oh yeah, that's that. There's
he
that
had
too.
to tolerate all that.
Like he would have been, talking stuff about him like that whole time. I remember like everybody was trying to guess who he was, like where Denjiro was supposed to be, because everybody knew he existed, but nobody knew where he was. Before he got his introduction. And before we got the reveal that he was Kyoshiro.
And everyone's out there guessing he's Kuina's dad.
But it was still ambiguous.
Right.
It was still up for debate.
I remember
it was pretty obvious, but it was still up for debate.
A lot of people like thought he might have been. I don't know if you guys remember, but like there was the Witching Hour boy. There was this guy, person that they would talk about, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's probably Denjiro, and he's probably like hiding in the shadows, and he's gonna reveal himself." And then there were some people who thought it was Kyoshiro. And there were like random bits of evidence here and there. And then there was the in the opening they show all the red Scabbards together, and then they show Kyoshiro. He's there with them, and it was like, is that a spoiler? Like, is Denjiro actually Kyoshiro?
Yeah,
and it actually was. And he was also the Witching Hour boy. That was pretty. That was
was the big.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I remember also.
Yeah, that was
when
neat.
Denjiro first appeared, like in the flashback, like he had the ponytail, he had a black ponytail and some glasses and some round glasses, and he had a striking resemblance to Koshiro, the Zoro's teacher from way back when. So a lot of
everyone was guessing, everyone was speculating on that, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
Come on, he's been in that town a lot longer than 20 years.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that time, to be honest, when people were thinking that.
Yeah, I didn't ever understand that, because just pure math-wise, it wouldn't make sense. Because Kuina was, if I'm not incorrect, older than Zoro.
I feel like Oda will have to do a lot more sort of dramatic setting up, in order for like for Zoro to meet his teacher there, and like for his teacher to actually be a beast. That would be crazy. Oda will have to do some more, kind of setting up that the idea of them, meeting together again.
But that'd also be weird, because didn't they say like Kuina was already beating the master of the dojo? So that would mean like Kuina is stronger than.
Yeah, that's her dad. Like that was. Maybe he just let her lose like all those times or something like that. But it doesn't matter because it's not even true.
We can never trust these old characters in the series.
Yeah, you never.
They always be like, "Oh, I was letting you win," and then they have a trump up their sleeve.
Right. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Like, what if Zeph showed up again? And like, what if Zeph showed up again and like he had Diablo Jamba and he just never used it. Whenever. He just never used it whenever in the Baratie, that was the last time we saw him. Back to Denjiro. Yeah, he's probably just got my favorite design. He had like an insane amount of patience, it's crazy that like Denjiro was literally right there next to Orochi. Like he probably planned on killing him.
I mean Ashura Doji also revolted against Orochi.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Ashura Doji could not hold it, and he actually revolted. He built up his own. What I don't remember what mountain bandits.
Right.
Yeah. For the second time.
Whenever Orochi would sort of ramble on about the red Scabbards, like Denjiro, he would just be sitting there, looking smug, because he knew that they were going to appear because he's one of them, That was pretty that was pretty fun,
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have a devil fruit power.
He has the neck power.
the neck fruit. He can just extend his neck or like make it bigger whenever he wants. Oh yeah, I guess that is pretty cool. Like he does have that cool tattoo on the back. I'm pretty sure that was the whole point of that panel. We were supposed to look at the tattoo, but everybody was paying attention to the neck. You think they all have a tattoo somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, I am assuming they all have the tattoo at their backs.
On their backs?
Just like Whitebeard,
That would be cool.
Ace has his.
Yeah, his Whitebeard tattoo. Everybody has like the Whitebeard emblem somewhere.
So just like that.
Yeah, Kinemon has it right in the exact same spot.
Yeah, so I guess they all it's like the loyalty for them. It was a loyalty time.
I think I'm ready to move on. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, I mean he's kind of been new to the series. Denjiro has gotten probably the least screen time of any Scabbard.
Yeah, as himself, so, as himself, he's probably got the least.
Yeah, well, except for the fact that he considered Kinemon this master tactician. There's not much going on with this character.
I think he was just like Kinemon's little friend back in the day.
Yeah. I like the little
Kinemon's
dynamic
cool
they
one.
had.
I
when they
follow
were-
I mean, we
around
all have
Kinemon.
someone who always got your back.
Right.
You always say something stupid, and we have someone who just covers up for us. That's Denjiro for Kinemon.
And then there's Kiku.
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 Yes. Question: do you think that the guy who's in love with her, his name was? It starts with a U, but like we said earlier, the names are really hard to remember.
Yeah.
Urashima. Think he'll come back at any point?
I have a hard time picturing a likeness to the name, so probably not.
He's the giant. Remember, there was the brief sumo battle.
When Luffy used that awesome attack against him.
Oh yeah, is Kiku just straight up like trans? Like it's kind of hard to say,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I think they mentioned it's from heart only.
She does use the male pronouns and stuff on herself.
No, she uses seisha. I'm pretty sure that's kind of gender neutral.
No, actually, Sesha, Tekken and Ohara mentioned that Sesha is used for males.
It is? Okay, well,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
English, the official English translation
Says
has her calling herself
this one, yeah.
all the time.
And that's kind of
But I think that's just because there's really no translation for session.
right.
Yeah, I mean, some words don't have a direct translation, so they have to do something.
Right.
around.
I think that the English translation was just like, let's just show that she's using a really confusing pronoun right here. But yeah, she's using the archaic male one, from what I understand.
Okay. So yeah, it is an archaic, but it's archaic, but it's also male. She also said she's a woman at heart or something like that. That's why I say she.
Yeah,
You know that one part where Chopper was like, "What? You're a man?" And she's like, "Yes, but a woman at heart." So like, I don't know. I think that means she identifies as a.
I just thought it was so funny at the beginning where Zoro was constantly like, "You're so tall."
Yeah,
Why are you
she
so
was.
tall?"
yeah. Actually, all the Scabbards Tower, all the other characters, they are quite tall. All of
Yeah,
them.
it's.
Honestly, Wano anime has been so funny.
Where did she get all the height from? Is there something like in the Wano water or something like that? Because like her brother.
Yeah, well, I guess all the Wano strong. As strong they get, the taller they get.
Maybe-
It's something.
maybe that's
like
like
that,
One
I
Piece.
guess.
Well,
I
also,
don't know.
like, this is One Piece where, like, normal
Right.
dudes can be, like, 8 feet tall. I think Roger was 8. I'm not saying Roger's a normal dude, but, like heights are not really matter.
Odin was also really tall.
Yeah.
I don't remember how tall Roger was exactly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Shanks is like 6'4", so that's pretty normal, right? Buggy is like the same height as him. No, yeah, Buggy is like the same height. Luffy's 5'8", which is kind of crazy, but
Yeah, Luffy's about how tall I am in the story, and that's pretty short.
And he's super short for One Piece.
yeah, he's super short. Like also like background characters and normal characters, like they're just normal heights. You never see. I am kind of curious as to like, is there like a thematic reason for why Oda makes characters so tall? Like, is it like because some characters are really tall but they're not really strong? I think Kiku is like kind of one of those characters. Like she's really tall. I'm not really sure why though. Like her brother Izo, I think Izo's probably done more and is probably stronger than her, but he's not. He's like 6'4" too, and she's like twice his height.
Yeah, I think Oda uses height like very intelligently, where like he'll make like characters, obviously like his height is inconsistent because like there's like Kaido's height in the introduction and then Kaido versus Luffy's height, and that was there's a bit of a difference there, but like
Right.
it's usually just like a portrayal choice.
That serves a narrative purpose for him. Like showing that the characters not only tower them physically,
Right.
not only they are physically taller, but actually they are much. In status and power, they are much actually higher than them, much stronger
Yeah.
than them.
Also, there's a recent panel of Izo like kind of like shaking hands with Kinemon, and Kinemon he's like 12 feet tall, and Izo is like they're like the same height. They're the same height in that panel, but like Izo is like Izo's pretty normal.
Izu was standing on a box.
No,
Yeah,
well,
he's standing
what I
on a
want
box
to say that
also, maybe.
if you may have watched the video with Ohara on the greatest moments in One Piece, Zoro declared when Zoro and Kuma had their little point, nothing happened. See?
Right.
In that moment, Ohara mentioned that Oda uses the camera angles at very beautifully. In that panel, Kuma was always towering over all the straw hats. the camera angle was such that all the Straw Hats had to look up to
Right.
Puma. But after Zoro gave up, presented his own life, that you take my life and spare Luffy. At that point, they were actually shown to be equal in height.
Well, that's
So
weird,
that serves a narrative purpose for
Ku was
them.
like 40 feet tall or something really crazy, you know. Yeah.
I don't know about 40, but yeah, he's
No,
tall.
yeah,
He's tall as,
I'm
like,
pretty
white
sure. Yeah, let me see. Let me just Google this real quick.
I mean, that's how he symbolizes
22 feet 7 inches.
Okay, so
Wow.
yeah, not
22 feet.
Yeah, that's still
Damn,
really
that's
crazy
tall.
though. Him and Moria are the strongest warlords. I think I want to say Moria is like slightly taller than him because
I think
of
you
like,
meant
the hair
tallest.
and the head. You know.
Definitely not strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how he does heights. You know.
Did we have anything else we want to say about Izo?
Izo or Kiku. I don't think so.
I just want to say I like how Izo has kind of like brought in like the outside world's like pistols into his fighting style. I think that's cool that he's like
Yeah, actually, that was pretty cool for him.
Managed to disarm King with just a pistol shot,
Oh, yeah.
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Where's Izo at? Izo and
Yeah, he's on
Kiku,
the
we know
roof,
where Kiku's
at the top of the Skull Mountain.
Yes, it's interesting how powerful pistols are in the One Piece universe. It's not like in Naruto, the little throwing stars never did anything to
Yeah.
anyone even once. Like,
Yeah.
I know I probably bash on Naruto at least once per video when we do this, but I have to. But still, it's pretty amazing how the pistols in One Piece really do. They've killed a lot of important characters.
Yeah, well, for one,
Probably more than
Belware
anything
was
else.
one. And they managed to take down Fisher Tiger, the one who actually rescued all the prisoners from Arijua. So that's no easy feat.
You see, One Piece is just one giant anti-gun PSA.
Yeah,
Right. And that's why Usopp doesn't use guns, even though he's a sniper.
actually it's Kanzuro.
The moment everyone's been waiting for.
Do you want to swap Kanzuro, like save him for last, or do you just want to get
Yes,
into it?
let's swap him out. Let's do Kanjuro last.
Let's swap him with
'Cause
Kawamatsu
honestly,
because I don't
we
want to
don't
end
have
with
a lot-
Kawamatsu.
Yeah, I don't want to end with Kawamatsu. There's really
Yeah.
nothing to say about him. He's
Yeah, that's
probably
what
the
I kind of
only
wanted
who's
to do.
gotten less screen time than Denjiro.
Right.
yeah. Yes.
I mean, he was in the prison cell as just like a pair of eyes for a super long time, and like I had high hopes for him, and then it's just like he's just like ka pa pa pa, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So Raizo, one of the most epic scenes in the entire series. Raizo is safe.
Yeah.
Gives me chills. Just
I mean that moment literally came out. And most of the time we expect stuff.
Right.
There are theories going around, but that moment hit really hard.
It's awesome because of the minks, though. It's not awesome because of Raizo.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a hot take. I don't really like Raizo. I want to like Raizo. I wanted to like Raizo. I've been wanting to like Raizo since like they first mentioned him because he's a ninja. Ninjas are super cool, and I haven't actually read any ninja manga or anime.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. He's not he was pointing his blades right as
Yeah,
Kaido
that
neck
was pretty cool.
when they actually attacked
That was pretty
him.
cool.
So
But,
that
like,
was very cool.
I just don't. I
That
just don't
was
like.
pretty cool. I mean, he was straight up at Kaido's neck. He could have actually cut him,
Yeah,
cut his
Raizo
neck
just.
or something.
I want to like him
Raizo
so
kills
much,
Kaido.
but like, he just doesn't have an interesting design. At no real point, I don't think he really did. Yeah, he's just so weird looking. Like, he's just like. I don't want to dislike very many. Like, I don't dislike very many of Oda's like wackier designs. But Raizo, he should like. I feel like Raizo should have been cool, and he just isn't. You know, he just isn't. Everybody was kind of like looking forward to seeing all the ninja, and like even Law and Zoro were interested to see like to hear about Raizo, and they were like,
Yeah, I mean your
yeah,
expectations are just like them.
Man, I love ninja, and like when he appeared, like he's not cool looking, you know, like he's not the sort of ninja that like, yeah, I guess he's just not what I was expecting, I guess, and all I gotta say is like he better do something really cool this arc.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's basically what we have to say about Raizo. There's not a lot.
Yeah,
there.
just imagine
Raizo.
him in normal clothes. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
how?
I don't know. No, keep his ridiculous outfit, but just give him like a regular face,
You're right.
maybe, or I don't know,
Shrink his head a little bit.
Divided
Like,
by like
just a little
three.
bit.
Right.
Give him arms instead of little nubs. So I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Something.
You guys want to do? You want to move on?
Yeah, I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems to be the most competent ninja. I'll say that. Like all of his like ninpo stuff is way better than like the Oniwa Banshu.
I was kind of hoping that like Raizo would like in the flashback he would look different and better, but he didn't.
Kind of like Senior Pink.
Kind of like Senior Pink.
That would have been cool. Although he did travel forward in time.
Oh, he did? Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was him, Kinemon,
Tanjiro.
Kiko, and...
Do you guys want to do Ashura Doji?
Yeah, sure.
He's my favorite Scabbard probably, but like just because of like aesthetic. Like I love like big drunkards that are strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he's a drunkard, but like he has that
How
sort
do
of
you
vibe.
feel about the fact that his hair is pink?
I don't care.
I think it's cool.
I like it.
Like, it's kind of rare for
Kobe's
like
cool.
men just in general, both in anime and outside of anime, to pull off the color pink. But I think he does it pretty well, you know.
Some of the coolest characters have pink hair. Kobe, Ashura Doji, Rebecca.
Rebecca Dawson. Shirahoshi.
All of the strongest characters. I love that panel with... actually, I'm looking back at the Odin sitting on him, and there's... Yeah, some of that is definitely Odin's blood, because there are arrows stabbing into Odin's body.
Well, I don't remember, like, was it a situation where, like, all of Ashura Doji's men and Ashura Doji were fighting Odin by himself, or was it just a 1v1?
Yeah. It was everyone versus Odin.
Okay.
The entire area.
It was a battle royale for him.
Well, like, fodder does not matter too much in One Piece, but, like...
Yeah, well, especially when you have Conqueror's Haki.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Odin could have just taken care of him.
Yeah, it looked like Odin took a lot of damage. You can tell by this panel that he at least had several injuries. I mean, he took on an army by himself, plus this monster.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Definitely.
I mean, I would place Ashura Doji like on the same level as like the Minx. I'd probably say.
Yeah, not Shanks.
Like
Jesus Christ, no.
Shanks?
Right.
Well, I mean, the Minx.
Minx, not the Shanks.
Oh, Minx. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, because he fought evenly with Inarashi.
Yeah.
Though Inarashi has lost a leg.
And him and Jack
Yeah.
both wounded each other.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which actually the Minx couldn't even do in base form. He's got this cool... I mean, he doesn't really have any ambiguity to him that much. Like, we know his whole deal, and it's kind of bland. But I don't know, he's a cool dude.
I like the sweet scene of him and like little Kiku learning together, because he's
Yeah.
like an uneducated thug, and the two of them are learning to be fancy together.
Oh.
There's like one scene of that in the manga, and it's just so adorable, because he's like trying his hardest.
Yeah.
Just like I just that was one of my favorite scenes with him. It was just like the two of them together, like trying to learn how to read right. And
Oh.
stuff.
Yeah. I love that, like... I don't know, it's like... I don't know if you've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, but he's got like Kuwabara sort of vibes to him.
He's got who?
He's got
who
like...
vibes?
I just love like those like hoodlum reforming characters.
Oh, Yusuke vibes? Is that who you said?
No, Kuwabara.
Kuwabara. Oh, okay. Yeah, it kind of blanked out when it skipped the name and then it just said vibes. I was like, yeah, but Kuwabara's cool. Yeah, I can see that. Ashura Doji's cool too. I think what's cool is like he was drinking like he was pouring like the snake's blood into into the sake. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, fun fact: apparently, when he fought Odin the first time, he was only 16.
Oh wow!
Oh, really?
Dang.
Yeah, because according
Well, Odin himself was not very old.
his age is officially 56, which is after the 20-year gap and the 20 years between when Oda first met him
Yeah.
and when he when they lost the battle against Kaido.
Yeah.
So I'd call him
So he-
like in his prime probably now. Well, actually,
Yeah.
I don't know if One Piece prime is like
It's
could be
it's
anything.
hard to say.
So, yeah, I don't know. He's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I'd say now. Like,
Yeah, well, for Prime, I generally consider them to be in their 40s. I assume that that's when they are in their prime.
In the One Piece world.
But it depends
Yeah.
on character to character.
Yeah.
yeah, and like race.
Yeah, race and like there's a lot of factors that determines when someone's prime is. Also, it's easier to tell when someone's in their prime, you know, when they're like dead or when they say they're not in their prime, you know, or they're no longer when they're old enough to be like no longer in their prime. Like, what's his name? Hyogoro. Like he's probably not in his prime. He's just straight not in his prime, you know.
Yeah.
Whitebeard was not in his prime when
Yeah,
he died, you know. And Garp
No.
probably isn't in his prime.
He's not in his prime
Yeah.
anymore. I think we've seen indications that he's
Yeah.
not quite as powerful as he used to
Right,
be.
right. Roger might have been in his prime when he died. Or maybe he was weaker because he was sick. Right around the Odin flashback, Roger and Whitebeard might have been in their prime. You know, just because his strongest feats are probably have been in recent times. I'd say Ashuradoji's probably in his prime.
All right, so let's talk about Nekomamushi and
Yeah.
Inarashi, whose English names
Dogstorm
are
and Cat
terrible.
Viper.
Dogstorm
Cat
and
Viper.
Cat Viper.
I'm
right?
fine with those names. I think they're not the coolest things ever, but they're direct translations. It makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
So here's a fun little fact. Do you know the song that Brooke was singing about?
Yeah, it was actually about it was a song,
yeah.
an actual song that existed in real life. Was it a song that Cho wrote?
Yeah, it was written by Cho, Brooke's voice actor, for the manga, and then Oda was like, "Oh, I like that."
And
then
he used
Brooke's like, "This song doesn't matter. I just made it up."
right.
I loved that. I was just like, Brooke, you continue to be one of my favorites.
Whose Sulong form do you like better?
I thought they were really cute, you know, back in their in the flashback, you know, when they first started and they were little kids. Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially Nekomamushi.
Well, from that point, now they are in their Sulong forms, taking out Jack, one of the calamities.
Yeah. And they've traveled Roger too. That's the interesting thing about these guys is they went with Odin so they probably have the most insight.
Yeah.
All right, I changed my
Cat
mind.
Viper,
Cat Viper is my favorite Scabbard.
Really? Who was it before?
Ashuradoji. Is that right?
No, that
Oh.
was.
Yeah, you said Denjiro, right?
But I was trying to figure out if it was Denjiro or Kikujuno, but no, it's Nekomamushi because he just has so many great character moments. For instance, when he was eating the soup and he was like, "This is too hot, I have a cat's tongue," which is apparently a Japanese pun. Just like he was eating lasagna in the tub with one arm, and just the way his interactions with Chopper were brilliant. Brooke's song about him was amazing. His moment with Beige when he was going there and Beige was like getting ready to fight with the Straw Hats, but he was like, "Nah, there's a monster."
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
And then he just he terrified Beige.
He's got him and Kinemon and Raizo are the only ones with personality.
Yeah, the most personality.
So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, and that's also why it's a shame that Raizo is not more popular or cooler looking, because he has one of the strongest, most notable personalities.
All right.
Yeah.
I still am not totally sure why Nekomamushi and Inarashi are at odds, based off of the flashback we got. I'm still not sure I understand quite why they're so angry at each other.
Yeah, it's kind of like blaming each other.
I mean, it could have been a ruse.
Yeah, I mean, it did not seem much. It was not much like they had a little argument, but it was not something which could stop them from talking for 20 years and still have animosity towards each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's always confused me.
I thought that one of them did something which led to the capture of Odin, but now after all the flashback and all, we see that nothing like that. So maybe Oda has something planned for that.
Maybe.
Yeah, or maybe it's just a translation thing that we don't quite get. I mean, it could just be something little, or did he just want to have they fight like
it
cats
does not
and dogs?
matter.
Yeah,
for me.
I think that's probably it. Since they're cats and dogs, since since they're a cat and a dog, they just.
I mean, it might be as simple as that. They are just like Tom and Jerry.
That's a little weak, though. For me. I don't know.
It could have been a ruse to distract from the whole Kozuki thing, because I don't know if they knew that they would inevitably be guarding the poneglyph or Raizo, but I don't know. It could have something to do with that, but still, it doesn't make much sense no matter what way you look at it.
Yeah.
If we want to make some kind of excuse for it, it's possible that they just didn't want to talk to each other because they didn't want to think about what happened.
Maybe.
I mean, they did get into a little bit of a fight there, and then maybe they just allowed those feelings to linger and just I'm not going to look at you.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep those feelings too closed up in your heart, they just build up.
But they seem fine with each other. The moment they kneel, they have no problem with each other at all. And even the recent chapter where they reunite, and there's in the middle of the tension, they just throw in this panel. It's hey, nice leg, hey, nice arm.
Right.
They don't have. They're buddies immediately.
Maybe it's it
makes no sense.
Maybe it's a sort of Dory and Bragi sort of situation.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe they don't actually dislike each other. They just fight a lot,
We have this video's SBS question to Oda.
Yeah.
Why are Inarashi and Nekomamushi, why were they so mad at each other? I don't get it. Explain.
And maybe I'll reread it. And then there's Ino Arashi. I think he's cool. He kind of reminds me of sections or something on Sesame Street where they had this guy's arms. and then like they had the dog's head, and like he was like eating things, like the dog, like they were sort of like eating things. I don't know how to explain it, but like
I vaguely remember that.
I vaguely remember it. That's what Ino Arashi kind of reminds me of. For like when I first saw him, that's immediately what I thought of.
Very deep insights. Very
right.
deep insight. Anybody else have anything to say about Inarashi? He's not. I mean, he's cool, but I don't know if there's a ton to like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that peg leg assist him being cooler a bit more. That peg leg is good.
Yeah.
Who has the coolest Sulung form?
Yeah, I think Inarashi has a cooler Sulong form.
I mean, I
agree.
It's still like angular and like primal.
Well, I am for Inarashi. Yeah.
I don't know why Oda had to like hold out on us for that long. You know, just for the Sulong form. Like, they're cool and all, but like he didn't have to tease us that much. You know, just to like.
Yeah. Well, when first Nekomamushi actually had that smile. We saw that latest smile.
Yeah, that excited me.
And then we had another silhouette form. And after all that, it was normal.
It was normal.
I thought it was worth it.
I thought it was worth it.
What I thought was weird is how long he waited to reveal what Odin looked like. Because Odin's design was not striking. It was really weird.
And the anime didn't care either. They just like dumped him in there.
Weird.
I like Odin's design, but like, I don't quite get why it was silhouetted for so long. Well, maybe it was just to signify that he is an important character. Because like when he first started appearing, we weren't even at Wano, right?
Yeah. The first silhouette we got of him was way back when we learned that Kinemon wasn't Momo's father. And they talked about that he got boiled in oil.
Really? They mentioned it that early?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just to sort of signify that he is significant. You know, he is significant, and maybe we should keep our eyes on him. Not necessarily because his design was supposed to be super cool, you know. Even though I do like his design.
Yeah, well, I mean, we still have that Admiral and I'm not remembering his name, Ryugoku.
I don't think his design is like the most interesting design in the series. It's kind of hard to say which one that would be, but I do kind of like his design. It does have a kind of a balance of like the wackiness of like someone like Raizo, but also like he can be like he does have enough about him that can be like unironically cool, you know, enough to be taken seriously.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm fine with it.
It was kind of funny. When we first got this flashback, I was like, oh, you're getting a flashback for this weird this guy that I don't like. Don't care about him. Why? But then I was like, wait, this guy settled with Roger. And this is going to give us some insights on Roger. I was like, oh yeah, okay, never mind. I'm on board with this. I'm on board with this.
Yeah. That's how he can keep someone the audience invested for like one of the longest flashbacks. Just, let's just throw in. I mean, it was necessary, but like having Roger and Whitebeard in their prime like definitely helped.
God. Yeah.
Maintain interest for that.
That whole flashback stuff is going to go down in One Piece history for sure. For sure, is one of like the greatest moments. In one. Like, I guess not really a moment, but like it is one of the greatest like sequences of events, you know, of all time in One Piece. And it's crazy. Like, I'm so glad I got to like, you know, experience it from chapter to chapter, you know?
Yeah.
I started reading One Piece a little over a year and a half ago. I caught up somewhere around August last year. It was towards the beginning of the school year last year. But like, yeah, all I can really say is I'm really glad I got caught up to Wano, and I can't even imagine what it must have been like to be reading weekly during like Water 7, Enies Lobby, Whole Cake Island, Dressrosa. I really can't imagine what it was like during Dressrosa. Like, oh man,
Dressrosa was crazy. It was so long.
Yeah, I think Wano might end up being longer. And all I can really say is I'm glad. Like, I'm glad I'm here for this. You know, it does kind of suck to like not be able to binge it, because like when I first got caught up, I was like, well, dang, like, because One Piece was like reading One Piece was like the thing I spent like half my free time doing. You know, trying to catch up in it. And, you know, I was going at my own pace, but, like, it's not like I was, like, rushing or speed reading it. But, yeah, I was just going at my own pace. It took me a few months, and it was, like, and once I got caught up, I was like, well, what do I even do now? You know?
So you decided to make videos about One Piece.
Yeah, the thing is, like, when I caught up, it was, like, other series, like, I finished Food Wars, and, like, I was super sad that it ended. But, like, with One Piece, I was just excited, because, like, I was like, all right. I have something that I can look forward to now.
Yeah, it was exciting, but it was also like, what do I do now? Or, you know, I'm glad I caught up, you know, during this arc. When did you get caught up, Robble?
Zoe. Oh. Well, actually, this is kind of embarrassing. So I caught up to the anime when it was airing Zoe. Mm-hmm. And then I stayed anime only for so many years, but I would watch like chapter reviews.
Oh,
like like what was happening in the manga. So I knew about Katakuri all in advance, all that stuff.
But like,
and then like during Wano, I caught up. I think it was around like January.
Why would you?
So, like, actually no, I caught up during it was 976 exactly. I remember because it was the Jinbei chapter.
Dang. That's pretty recent. That's weird that you
I mean, so it's embarrassing because I've been with the series for like 3 or 4 years now, but I didn't catch up to the manga until...
Yeah, I have a friend who didn't catch up till like he recently watched an episode of the anime and like I don't even know what he was saying. Like I guess he was like complaining about it or something like that, and I was like, yeah, just read the manga. Like, and then he did. He was like, like his reasoning was like, oh, I'm gonna have to read the entire thing again. First of all, is that really a bad thing to reread One Piece again? But like, second of all, you don't really have to. Like, you know, I just told him what chapter the anime left off at, and it was in Wano, so it was really recent. You know, and yeah, he's caught up now. Who are we even talking about? I forgot.
We're talking about the Minx.
Oh yeah,
we were about to move on, but then we got into this tangent. So next is Kawamatsu. Biggest disappointment in the Scabbards.
Oh, poor guy. It was weird when he was first introduced. Everyone was speculating about what he was, but as soon as I saw him, I was like, "Oh, he's a fishman."
That's what I thought.
Like, didn't even miss a beat there. I don't know why everyone was like speculating about that.
I was like,
I can't tell what kind of fish.
Well, mainly I guess because it was Wano, and Wano has this superstition and all going for it. So people were like, he may be an actual kappa.
That's true.
That's the main reason. If it was any other region except Wano, everyone would be like, oh, he's a fisherman.
Right.
Nothing more, nothing less. But it's because of the Wano that everyone was speculating that what he might be.
Yeah, I get that.
Is he an actual kappa or a fisherman?
Yeah, because like in Wano, like there's so much like an air of mystery to like the environment of it. So like people sort of have expectations because they know that there's just like giant monkeys and like lion-looking dogs just roaming around Wano. So like obviously like the environment is interesting to people. So yeah, I definitely see that.
There is actually some weird creatures that are pretty unique, like the in Big Mom's book. I don't know if you guys remember that when Big Mom was looking through her book of strange creatures that she had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
You remember in her like book prison library? And then in Whole Cake Island there were these people who were smaller than Tontara. They're these little wisp looking.
Oh wow. Yeah, dude, that's like something that fascinates me about the series is like all the different races. I'm doing a Dungeons and Dragons that's heavily based on One Piece, so I've been like milking like all the different races in this series so much, and like the combinations. Like recently I made a guy that's like half giant, half fish man as like the main enemy. Oh, so yeah, I just love stuff like this. I mean, that was a dude on Foxy's crew, so it's not like it hasn't been done.
Yeah.
You know, have you guys seen like that? There's a straight up One Piece D&D. A couple of YouTubers are playing it.
Yeah,
Tekking is one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, the stage and all.
Yeah.
The stage.
Yeah, Rustage.
It's a pretty cool series. I need to catch up in it. I'm a couple episodes behind. Kawamatsu. Oh yeah, I do kind of like the whole. He was kind of like a mentor or something to Komurasaki. I think that was pretty cool.
Taught her how to be a prostitute.
Yeah, but he had one job and he could not complete that.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. There's got to be something interesting to say about him.
What did he do in the Tsunachi scene? What did he do? Did he pierce Kaido or did he disarm somebody? I don't remember him doing anything like important. Like I mean, I know Izo. I think was it Doji that disarmed Kaido?
I think so.
So Kaido lost his Kanabo.
Yeah.
So that's he probably just stabbed Kaido.
Actually, it was Nekomamushi who hung up on his hand, and I think disarmed Kaido.
One thing that we should mention is his relationship with Onimaru, the little fox.
Oh yeah.
I forget about that plotline so much.
What is like? I'm curious about like what is that about? Are we gonna? I guess we're gonna get back to it eventually, but I'm not even sure where. Like at what point we would, you know?
I don't know what to make of it.
It's one of those things that I'm not really sure. Like what Oda plans to do with it. Honestly, I don't know how Oda's gonna like connect Ryuma back to like the current Wano stuff.
Also, I'm curious about that the fox guy. Like, why didn't they bring him into the battle? He was clearly very strong. He was able to hold back Zoro for a while, even though obviously he was no match for Zoro, but he was able to hold him back. You know, bring him along to the fight against Kaido.
Yeah.
Also, did he eat a devil fruit that lets him turn into a person?
He's an fox and he has already done his duty. So I guess let's leave him out for this battle.
I feel like he's sort of like a guardian. I feel like he should not leave that area of Wano.
His duty was to guard, and he did that pretty nicely. Mm-hmm. So I guess his arc is finished at that.
But we have to see him again. We have a lot of questions. Like, why can he turn to a person?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just an ancient thing in Japan. I watched a Tekking video, and he said that, okay, this is a mythological thing. Oda has just taken a reference from a mythological thing. from Japan's own culture.
Yeah, but usually when he does something like that, he also gives it a reason for his universe to happen. So it's not just like, oh yes, this is a mythological thing. No, actually that guy just ate a lightning devil.
It was... The actual thing is, I guess, a human who can transform into a fox, but here it was just swapped the other way around. A fox who can transform into a human.
Did he eat the Hito fruit or something?
Some sort of ancient zone.
The only explanation.
It could be.
No, it's just a mythological reference, and nothing fruit related or anything like that. Just a mythological reference.
Honestly, that's one of the things.
Okay, we have a fox who can turn into a human.
I don't know. It would make sense if we saw more of those. Yeah, like, since it's just one, if there were more foxes who could turn into humans, like, it would feel like, that's a species of animal, But he just seems kind of like an enigma, There's nothing else like him on Wano or seemingly anywhere else.
Except for Chopper.
Yeah, except for Chopper, and he's a devil fruit user, So
that's explained, though.
Hopefully we'll get a little more screen time with him.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. But honestly, Wano's got so much to do. I'm not banking on getting too much of an explanation for that.
We gotta have something, Like, I'm fine with Oda putting stuff in SBSs. There is some stuff that you just can't put in SBS. Like, whatever is going on with the Shimotsukis, like, fans have been kind of asking about it, and, like, Oda's been giving hints, but, like, the way he's been kind of playing coy about, like, the Shimotsuki, I don't want to say storyline, because it's not really a storyline, but, like, the Shimotsuki story thread, the plot thread or whatever, like, it seems like Oda's trying to integrate that into the main story, but my question is where? Like, how? Are there any Shimotsukis, like, in Wano right now, like, actually playing a real role? Because I can't think of any.
No, they've not listed any.
When and how is this gonna go down, I trust in Oda. He's probably gonna give it to us eventually. Anyway, last but not least, I'm ready to move on to Kanjuro. Yeah.
Well, let's start at the beginning.
All right. His introduction at Dressrosa.
Well, no, his life story. The beginning of his life story. Because I think that's where the most intrigue.
Yeah. Is he I don't even know his relation to Orochi. I can't remember it. Are they brothers?
They're the same family.
Yeah, they're from the same clan.
They have the same.
Well, they are from the same clan. That's all. Actually, there is they do not have something like that relation, but they are from the same clan. But what I find very interesting about Kanjuro is that he was introduced as an ink blob.
Yes, why?
He could be molded into anything. He was just an ink blob. He could be painted into anything. So that was very symbolic for Oda's part. Doing like, okay, Orochi just molded him into this traitor.
But why was, I know that was a symbolic thing, but was there an actual physical reason for that also?
Well, at that point, Kanjuro was not actually revealed. So that was another reason for him being silhouetted. So Oda went with the ink blob.
Maybe.
Still, I feel like that's a very, very distinct... he didn't even make it a vaguely human-shaped blob. It was a very blob-shaped blob.
I have to look at that panel again.
Ink was sprouting here and there. So, well, that was very interesting for introduction for a character that was unique.
How do you guys feel about the foreshadowing for his being a traitor?
I think it was really good. I think his explanation for why he didn't have very many direct hints, most of the foreshadowing was kind of meta, as it wasn't in universe explanations for why we might consider him suspicious. None of the other characters would have suspected him, just the readers, if that makes sense. I think it was really good.
Yeah, though they probably should have. Clearly someone had led Jack to rise.
Right. That is one thing.
Someone did that.
Yeah, well, Marco the Phoenix made that awesome video and actually pointing out that it is going to be Kanjuro. He had some solid points, and after revelation of Marco, I got to know about that video, because once that theory was proved right, everyone was talking about that, and one of the YouTuber mentioned it in their video, and I checked that out, and he actually made some solid points.
Mr. Morge and Grand Line Review also predicted who the traitor would be.
The Library of O'Hara thought that it was going to be Carrot.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I never understood how it could be Carrot. To be straight.
like even before the flashback or anything like that.
It did not make any sense for Carrot to be the traitor. It was
weird. Like, I don't even understand how people were holding on to the Carrot theory, Carrot being the traitor theory, like, even into the flashback, even as far as, like, when Kaido straight up said, there might be a traitor among you guys. Like, somehow people were still suspecting Carrot, who wasn't even born yet. She's what, 16? Yeah, there's no way she can be there's no way she could have been the traitor.
Yeah. She's younger than Chopper, and Chopper is the youngest. So I never understood why people were like, okay, Carrot is the traitor.
I never thought Kenjiro was going to be as important as
me either. I thought the most important Scabbards would probably be Kinemon and probably Denjiro. It was pretty crazy, when the reveal happened.
Especially his revelation saying that, okay, let's talk about who's the traitor. He at the final panel of that page, when it was actually going to be revealed, he was like, okay, let's talk about who might be the traitor. We are holding off that topic for quite some time now, and then as soon as we turn the page, it's like, let's talk about it. It was
pretty
me.
Crazy.
That was cool. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because he had been drawing with his left hand.
Oh,
all the
I did not notice.
And he switched to his right hand when he drew.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the point. Marco the Phoenix made in his video, that if he's right-handed, why is he drawing with his left hand? I did not notice that,
because he always fought with his right hand when he was doing sword stuff. But with his he used his left hand to draw everything.
That's interesting. I did not notice that at all. That is crazy.
So there were foreshadowing points here and there. And he also mentioned some weird panels when he was cut out from the panel itself, when all the Scabbards were present. But for some reason, Kanjuro's expression were cut out intentionally by Oda to hide what he is expressing at that time using his face. Oda already planted stuff here and there.
That's crazy.
I also like how Kenjiro tried to kill everyone in Dressrosa.
Oh, how?
When he let all the people who were coming to kill the Straw Hats up by making a ladder for them.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And then he was like, oh, I thought you wanted them up here. So he just seemed like an incompetent idiot, but that was definitely on purpose.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
One thing I'm curious about is, like, how much, like, what exactly was his plan? Was he ever trying to take them out before they got to Wano? I do like the idea of him waiting till the last possible second, to reveal himself. I also think, it's entirely possible he might have, or even should have, tried to stop them on the way.
Orochi actually issued an order for that his job is complete and he can reveal himself, unless, Orochi himself mentioned that he was going to die as an Kozuki. He was never going to actually reveal himself. That's very interesting for his character, because he was actually molded into that, and he was going to go through.
Yeah.
No matter what.
He would, not help them as much as he could, but I don't think he ever tried to antagonize them, just because that any slight antagonistic behavior might have blown his cover.
He never assisted them, but he never sabotaged their work.
Yeah.
It's like
or like whenever he did sabotage it, he was like, it just made it look like it was just a mess up on his part.
He was being an idiot.
No, like the way he did it was like when he was helping, like he kind of did less than what he could have done. Mm-hmm. Imagine like if he had drawn Ryunosuke with the best of his ability, like Ryunosuke would have like
we could have gotten an ink Kaido at that.
Which brings us back to his ending. Like, is he dead for real? Like, I really don't think that fight should have ended like that. If it is over and we're not gonna come back to it at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be weird, but I guess Oda had more important stuff to focus on.
I still don't like it.
So he skipped it, I guess.
No, but it should have at least been more dramatic in some way.
I think we could have used a panel or two, just maybe one or two more panels of this.
And maybe.
I mean, a panel or two would not have hurt.
Or maybe even a 2-page spread of him getting.
That's exactly what I was thinking. They should have gotten something. Like, we should have definitely gotten something. That was like everything leading up to it was so dramatic. It was practically like not even shown. Like his final fight was not even shown. Like I'm saying, like that's what I also think. Like maybe they're gonna come back to it, like maybe after the fight. I can't think of a good point in the story where it would actually make sense to sort of circle back to, the fight, sort of flash back to the fight. Like, let's say it happened during the Kaido fight. That wouldn't be very, that wouldn't feel very organic. Or after the Kaido fight. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That it's too late to go back to Kanjiro versus Kiku at this point. It's too late.
Unless whoever of the Scabbards survives, dwells on it afterwards.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think any more of the Scabbards are going to die? And if so, which ones?
I'm going to give a hot take, and I'm going to say none.
None?
Oh, because it's One Piece, and I just err on the side of fewer casualties.
Normally, I'd say that at least Kinemon or Denjiro or Ashura Doji would die. But the point that Oda has been hammering it this much makes me think just the opposite.
You know, they keep saying that they're ready to die. They're all ready to die. Like,
that's in One Piece are very unexpected. But at this point, we are expecting all of them to die.
Literally, chapter 991 was called "Let Us Die." Like, I think one of them has to die. Like, yeah, I am on the side of like death flags are everywhere for Kinemon at the very least. Kinemon at the very least. Maybe
that's
also
what I'm
Denjiro.
saying. That there's too much. That there are too many. That's what I'm saying.
When I predict deaths, I think which death would be the saddest. You know, I think that's the type of death that That's the type of thing Oda goes for when he goes for deaths. You know,
that's why I'm almost 100% sure that Kawamatsu and Kiko will survive.
Exactly.
Yeah, I support that point.
For me, I think it's Kinemon, Inu Neko, then maybe Raizo.
Well, for Inu Neko, I guess they are to survive for Zou. They still have an whole country to run.
Yeah, no, I was thinking like, since they have a whole country to run, maybe that's why they could die, to devastate that country.
How much of that country is left, though, honestly?
Yeah, that's hard to say.
After this.
That's hard to say.
After Jack's attack and then them going back to attack...
yeah, well, that's what...
How many... Besides, Carrot can stay back and take care of the country now.
Yeah.
Take care of the whole country? Like, Carrot, a 16-year-old? Yeah. But, the Musketeers, I think they might be able to... Like, if all the Musketeers are kind of like, pull together, they might be able to handle it pretty well. I think I've said all I think I need to say.
Yeah, pretty much for me too.
Yeah, I think that can be it.
All right. Well, be sure to subscribe to Smizzle, subscribe to the D-Clan, subscribe to the Voice of All Things, and subscribe to Brabble D-Boy.
So next week, we're going to count down to number 8.
8.
With a mystery video.
Yes, we're not going to tell you.
Tune in next chapter to find out.
Yeah, tune in. All right. See ya.